edition of Bro Talk MMA. We've had some technical difficulties and some hurdles that we've had to overcome, but luckily we still have, live capabilities. So we're gonna cover this weekend's fight night card taking place in Kansas City. It's gonna be headlined by a welterweight bout. First off, my name's UTICA, undeniably the illest cat around, aka Mr. Make This Pick Real Quick. I'm here with my bro host extraordinaire.
You know what it is. This RayBuck, this Chocolate Jordan, this motherfucking God. It's Mr. Give me my belt. Hand me my crown. I'm about to smash this card like I smashed your girl. You know what it is.
Yes, indeed. So, like I was saying, we are here to cover this weekend's fight night card taking place in Kansas City. It's going to be a welterweight bout between Ian Machado Garry going up against Carlos Prates. Right now we got 14 fights on this card, so hopefully that pans out. And then I guess we'll start things off. I believe it's in the women's bantamweight division. We don't
even have mics on, bro.
Yeah, we don't got mics on.
I don't even know these niggas can hear me. It's all good though. Them shits, where they at?
Let's see.
I don't even know these niggas can hear me. It's all good though. Them shits, where they at?
Let's see. You want to go live?
Nah, it's good, fuck it. We good. Hey, we sound alright. Where they at? Nah, it's good, fuck it. We good. Hey, we sound alright. Where they at? Just probably turn that down now, so it don't echo overall crazy. Yeah.
See what we're sounding like. You're right.
Hey man, check difficulties. We talked about this shit. It happens. It's what it is.
We're working on it, y'all. So we appreciate you bearing with us. But like I said, we have a bout going on between Jocelyn Edwards going up against Chelsea Chandler. It's actually the other way around, but whatever. So anyways, we got Chandler coming in. They're 2-2 in the UFC, 6-3 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. We got Edwards coming in. They are 5-4 in the UFC, 14-6 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. I'm gonna be going with Edwards in this one. I just believe that they'll probably get this done by either decision or TKO. I just believe they'll be the better fighter in this bout. Chelsea Chandler, I don't know, she's just a little iffy to me, to be totally honest. I feel like Jocelyn Edwards is pretty seasoned now at this point in the UFC and is getting better as she goes. And I'm gonna be going with Edwards in this one.
I'm going with Edwards as well. I think it's a great pick. Chelsea Chandler just ain't shit to me, to be honest with you. I think Edwards has better hands. I think Edwards has better grappling, better wrestling, just an all-around better fighter. Is this my favorite fight of the night? No, it's the first fight of the night. Generally, first fight of the night is not my favorite fight of the night. And Jocelyn Edwards gets this one done. I don't think in spectacular fashion necessarily, but it's possible.
For sure.
Jocelyn Edwards for the win.
All right. Moving on, folks. We have a bout between Timmy Kuamba going up against Roberto Romero. In this one, we got Kuamba coming in there 0-2 in the UFC, 8-3 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. Romero is going to be 0-1 in the UFC, 8-4 with 1 draw overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. I'm going to be going with Romero in this one, probably by decision or KO. I feel like, are going to be the more aggressive of the two. I don't necessarily know if their hands are going to be sharper than Kuamba's, but I just feel like they throw with bad intentions, and I really liked how they looked in their debut, which was a short notice fight, by the way, going up against David Onama. Been actually looking forward to seeing them fight since that fight. So, I'm going to be going with Romero in this one.
I got to agree with the Romero pick. Romero is pressure. He's literally fought more recently I think there's not going to be a lot of ring rust with him. You know what I mean? He's a dog. He showed up on short notice. He fought David Onama, which is a up and coming fighter, great fighter. I don't know about great fighter, but you know what I mean, a decent fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've got to respect that, and I believe Romero's going to be able to get it done against Kuampa.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. What's up to my guy Matua up in the chat with us? Sounds like they're leaning Edwards and Romero, or just Romero?
Or let me ask you this, bro: you would never pass Jocelyn Edwards' guard because you don't want to, or is it like just because she has a great guard?
That's what I'm asking if he's leaning towards Edwards.
Oh, because like you did, you know what I mean? You're feeling Jocelyn Edwards. So, I mean, like, I can see that too. You know what I mean?
Next up, we got a bout between Jacqueline Amorum going up against Polyana Viana.
Mm-hmm.
We got Amorum coming in 3-1 in the UFC, 9-1 overall, and 4-1 overall. 4-1 in their last 5 fights. We got Viana coming in. They are 4-6 in the UFC, 13-7 overall, and 2-3 in their last 5 fights. I'm gonna be going with Amorim in this one by either submission or decision. Now Viana actually does, have some ground game, but I just don't know how aggressive really that she is. I just feel like Amorim, just a little more dials in once that fight gets to the ground. In this fight.
But our opponent finishes as well. I think they both have a little bit of cardio issues. But I think there's going to be a definite finish in this fight. Can I pick it whether it's going to be sub or it's going to be KO? I don't know. I just know it's not going to make it to the 3rd round. So maybe that's you know what I mean. Under 3 was a great pick there, but I'm in for the win on this one.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like our guy Matua also same thing, leaning towards Amorim. Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, Viana looks like that they like to lean into their grappling, but they just don't. I don't know. I just don't see that killer instinct from them. And they're just more of like a competitor rather than a killer. So yeah, I'm gonna be going with Amorim. Moving on, we got Cameron Simon going up against Malcolm Wellmaker. We got Simon coming in. They are 3-2 in the UFC, 9-2 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. We got Wellmaker coming in, making their debut, 8-0 overall. And I'll be going with Wellmaker in this one. I just feel like the thing that stood out to me was just the physical attributes, where they were definitely a lot, bigger of a fighter compared to Simon. And yeah, I feel like this is just one of those bouts where it's either Simon can, maintain and not let somebody, jump off of their name, or Wellmaker's in here to, establish himself, and the UFC then gets another prospect. So, once again, it's just one of those things where whoever wins or loses, UFC wins overall. And in this case, I feel like they're going to just acquire a new prospect in Wellmaker.
I like Wellmaker because I know a lot of bitch-ass Camerons out there.
That's wild, bro. That's fucking wild. I do think Simon's experience is gonna serve him well. I definitely do believe that. He has more UFC experience.
He's gonna start good guys. Like a whole new talk. Okay. My bad.
Got a question in the chat.
All right, go ahead, my bro.
Go ahead, my bro. Fucking clown. We're on clown time right now. That's right. But yeah, I've noticed that with a lot of these cats that be coming on now, we've had a few fight cards where we've pointed out guys who have came in making their debuts off of dudes who have been fucking horrible. And, right now I've been proved wrong more than right, in that regard when picking cats based off of the competition that they've faced prior. I think Wellmaker's just going to be one of those dudes who's, ever evolving at this stage in their career. I mean, I know he's the older of the two, and Simon is like younger by 4 years, but I don't know. I just feel like Simon, yeah, that's a great point. Like in his fight against Peyton Talbot and stuff, you could just tell there he was a step behind, and I feel like his cardio becomes an issue. As the fight goes on, I feel like he's more of a finisher type fighter. So really, like I said, when I broke everything down, the tiebreaker for me was just that Wellmaker's gonna be the bigger of the two. So and so yeah, I'm gonna be going with Simon.
Just getting back to whack ass Cameron's. I gotta go with Wellmaker as well. I just think he wins by speed. He's undefeated. He's got 4.5 inches of reach. And Cameron Simon really has a big problem with speed. And he also has a problem with unorthodox fighting, unorthodox strikes, as we saw against Peyton Talbot. Cameron Simon is a great fighter, or a good fighter. I've bet on him multiple times. He's won me money multiple times. I just think Wellmaker has his ticket, and he's gonna punch it. You know what I mean? At UFC Fight Night, Missouri.
Especially if he decides like mix it up with some grappling too. I don't think Simon fares too well in the grappling department, so that could very well be a thing. But we'll have to see. Moving on, we have Damon Blackshear going up against Alatang Haley. We got Blackshear coming in 4-3 with one draw in the UFC, 16-7 with that one draw overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. We got Alatang Haley, 5-2 with one draw in the UFC, 17-9 with 2 draws overall, and 3-1 with one draw in their last 5 fights. I'm gonna be going with Blackshear in this one by either submission or decision. I really just my guy Matua. I feel like my guy, let's see, I like Wellmaker, there's not a lot of info on him. Yeah, definitely, he's making his debut, but to stay on the Blackshear fight, I mean, yeah, I just think he's gonna get this to the ground and he's gonna make either quick work of Alatang Haley, or he's just gonna, dominate and just kind of control him over the course of 3 rounds. But definitely going with Blackshear. Who you got?
Blackshear to this day. Blackshear's gonna win, bro. Blackshear is the better grappler. And we're going against Alhain Taylor, or however you say his fucking name. He's a decision machine. I'm not big on decision machines, as you guys have watched on this channel. I want to see somebody who's gonna finish. I want to see somebody who's gonna make an exciting fight. And I don't believe that Blackshear is going to. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people that just go on the show. They just, throw bombs, throw crazy strikes. He throws great strikes. He's very technical in parts, and then he can throw some more unorthodox strikes as well. But he's not going to put himself in a precarious position for the most part. So I believe he wins. You know what I mean? Because I don't like to see it left up to the judges. So Blackshear all day.
Yeah, I mean the only thing I'll give Alatang Haley is if he manages to keep this fight standing, then that's where he's live. But I just don't see that happening. So
I agree with that for sure. Blackshear all day.
For sure. All right, moving on. We got Chris Gutierrez going up against John Castaneda. We got Gutierrez coming in 9-3 with one draw in the UFC, 21-5 with 2 draws overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. We got Castaneda coming in 4-3 in the UFC, 21-7 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. I'm gonna be going with Gutierrez in this one by either decision or KO. I just believe that their offense will just be better, a little bit crisper than Castaneda. I think that they have an edge in the cardio department, and their leg kicks are deadly. So if they can get those going, and just kind of just work Castaneda for the first round and a half, I believe that they'll eventually either just break Castaneda and finish him off, like I said, with a TKO, or they'll just, fade him out for the course of 3 rounds and just get the decision. But yeah, see, man, Matua, man, I don't know, it might have to.
We might have been on the channel, been on the pod, bro. I agree, Gutierrez. He's the hometown kid. He's from Colorado, the CEO of the Box State.
I don't know if he's from here, but he definitely
trains out here. That's what
you
mean. You know what I mean.
I got you.
You know what I mean? If you're fighting out here, you're hometown to me. You know what I mean? Because you're representing my city.
Yeah, well, unless you fight out of Sheridan, Colorado.
Man, fuck Sheridan, Colorado, bro. But I'm just gonna say though, Gutierrez. Gutierrez live in this fucking fight. I believe Gutierrez definitely gets this one done if and only if he is able to avoid the grappling of his opponent, because his opponent could definitely fuck him up on the ground.
Yeah.
So Gutierrez, just do me a favor, bro. Avoid the grappling. Keep it standing. Fucking wop wop wop. Give him the business. You know what I mean? Give him the what's the squabble up. Just squabble up. Okay. Be right.
That's what's up. All right. Moving on. We got Evan Elder going up against Gage Young. We got Elder coming in. They are 2-2 in the UFC, 9-2 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. We got Young coming in. They are making their UFC debut on short notice, and are 9-2 as well overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 fights. I'm gonna be going with Elder in this one though. Really, what it came down to is just UFC experience, and I believe Young is making some sort of weight change. He's either coming up in weight because it is a short notice fight, or he's moving down in weight. It's one of the two. But that was really the determining factor for me in this one. So I'm gonna go with Elder. I don't like when dudes, make weight changes. So that's gonna be one of my things. Who is Gage Young replacing? Yeah, he's replacing what was that cat's name? Yeah, he was
Asanada.
Yeah, I want to say it was a Tajikistan cat.
Weird, bro. Like one of them stands.
Let's see. It was who was he replacing?
Hansasada.
Yeah, Ahmad Hassanzada, who is, let's see, he is out of Afghanistan. Okay. So yeah, it was I think it was gonna be this guy's debut as well. So Elder was gonna take on a new booty whether he wanted to or not. And so I was actually going to be going with that guy in this fight, but given, the difference and changing opponent, and just like I said, there's just something about this Gage Young fight. So it's a lightweight bout. And well, what do you know?
You got the dead air, right? Let me go ahead and tell you something about this.
I got it wrong.
I know.
I got Elder coming. Elder's going to be coming down
in 15 pounds. I got it. I've already got this in my notes, my boy.
Go ahead,
I've already done this research. I'm already on this.
Okay.
I'm ready. You know what I mean? Because I was going to originally pick Hassan. Because I'm just not a big fan of Evan Elder. Not like, again, this is not a filling pick or a heart pick. I really did just think that Hans Asada had his number. In addition to that, now I believe that Young has his number because, again, Evan Elder is coming down 15 pounds against a man that's younger than him and has fought more recently than him. That being said, Gage Young, for the win against Evan Elder. You know what it is.
I'm just trying to figure out what. You know what? I'm not even gonna look into it. Yeah, it is what it is.
I mean, I just do my research right. Before I get to a live or something, I try to do my research. It's kind of like my whole thing.
Well, so I've had a lot going on with just getting this show to fucking air. So it's been pretty tough to do my in-depth research. But we're just gonna leave that at that. Moving on to a flyweight bout since I decided to pull up weights fucking finally. We got Matt Schnell going up against Jimmy Flick. We got Schnell coming in. They are 6-7 with 1 no contest in the UFC, 16-9 with 1 no contest overall, and 1-4 in their last 5 fights. We got Flick coming in. They are 2-3 in the UFC, 17-8 overall, and 2-3 in their last 5 fights. Surprisingly, I am going to be going with Matt Schnell in this one, even though he's been on a bad beat here lately. He's actually moving down in weight in this fight, which is funny, because I am picking him. But it's only because he made one stop at bantamweight, realized that wasn't his bag, and fucking came back down. He actually retired after that last fight, which is odd to me, which makes it even more odd that I'm even picking him, because that, personally, I wouldn't even pick a guy who's orbiting around retirement, whether he's thinking about it or is coming off of it. Whatever the case, like, usually I wouldn't pick somebody, who is hovering around that area. But in this fight, the only reason why I'm going with Schnell is that this is his weight, technically, that he's supposed to be fighting at, had his most success at. And also, he has hands. Jimmy Flick doesn't have hands. So, I feel like Matt Schnell has more routes to victory. He definitely can get scrappy on the ground as well. So I feel like if he can keep this fight on the feet, that would be his best route to victory. But if not, I still think that he could possibly get it done on the ground. He will be the bigger of the 2 fighters, I believe. And yeah, I'll be going with Matt Schnell in this one.
Matt Schnell is the all-around better fighter. Grappling, striking, whatever exchange you want to fucking call out, Matt Schnell is better. Jimmy the Brick Flick just has a fucking chin of fucking granite and is a zombie. And he is going to put volume out there and he's going to throw his wild punches, but he's a bar fighter. Jimmy Flick is a bar fighter. You know what I mean? And as much as I respect bar fighters, you know what I mean? And maybe I've even been one myself at some point in my life, Jimmy Flick does not have. He is the least skilled UFC fighter in the roster, not even on the card, on the roster. So, Matt Schnell, you are 0-3, my bro. I get it. If you don't do this one, go to LFA. Go across the sea. Get the fuck out of here. Because you need to win this one. And this one is, like, yours to lose.
It's just, I don't know if he has anything to lose now. He's already retired, so.
Well,
I
just like you just gave me that little tidbit of information, which I don't like. But yeah, I do believe that Matt Schnell has far more capabilities and skills than Jimmy Flick does.
I do my research from time to time.
Oh shit, son! Came back around, baby. All right, I like it.
Moving on to a middleweight bout. We have Ikram Aliskerov going up against Andre Muniz. We got Aliskerov coming in 2-1 in the UFC, 15-2 overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 fights. We got Muniz coming in. They are 6-2 in the UFC, 24-6 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. I'm gonna be going with Aliskerov in this one by either KO or decision. I just believe that they're going to be the better overall fighter. We got my guy Matua. He's leaning Muniz in this one. I don't know. I just feel like Muniz is pretty just he only has one route to victory, and it's his grappling.
Matua, wait for my breakdown, but go ahead.
Aliskerov, I just believe will be able to have the skills and the wrestling to keep it on the feet. I don't think that he should partake in any grappling except for just trying to, get back to the feet. And as long as this fight stays on the feet, I believe he's live for a finish at any time. And yeah, Muniz, I just feel like not only are they one-dimensional, but also they just their cardio is kind of a questionable thing too as well. But don't get me wrong, like he will try to get this to the ground fast, and if he does, at that point he's live to win the fight at any point. But like I said, I just feel like Alaskarov, he's seasoned enough, and has rolled with enough real dudes out there that he'll be able to keep this one on the feet. I don't think Muniz presents too many threats on the feet, but it has been proven that Alaskarov can be clipped. So it's not to say that Muniz couldn't catch him with something flash, but truly to me, I just feel like his best route to victory is submission, and Alaskarov actually, could K him or potentially find an advantage on the ground and or just keep it on the feet for the entirety of the fight.
Alaskarov for the win. His opponent has a 1 year, 4-month layoff. There's got to be a little bit of ring rust there for Muniz. That being said, I think all around Alaskarov is better. Obviously, Muniz does have an edge in the grappling, and submission attempts and that sort of thing. But as a complete fighter, Alaskarov is far better and far exceeds Muniz's capability. So Alaskarov has to be my bet and has to be the guy I go with. That's really my breakdown. That's my whole breakdown.
For sure. I got you. Most definitely. All right, moving on to a welterweight bout. We have Randy Brown going up against Nicholas Dalby. We got Brown coming in 13-6 in the UFC, 19-6 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. We got Dalby coming in. They are 7-4 with 1 draw and 1 no contest in the UFC. 23-5 with that 1 draw and 2 no contests overall, and are 4-1 in their last 5 fights. I'm gonna be going with Randy Brown in this one. I ain't gonna lie, it was tough. It was tough not to go with Dalby. Dalby's a dog, bruh, and he doesn't weather, like his cardio and just like his killer instinct, I feel like just gets liver as the fight goes on. He is 40 plus, I think, now at this point. So there is that factor, and then what really just leaned me towards Randy Brown overall was once again physical attributes. Randy Brown's going to be taller, he's going to be longer. The only thing that I worry about is his cardio, but I do believe that's something that he's been working on. And I think he's still evolving at this stage in the game, even though, he's well into his 30s and stuff like that. But I still believe that he still not necessarily will be able to go for like a title run anytime soon. But I think he's going to be one of those, guys in this division that, can always count on getting booked for a fight because he puts on good fights. And like I said, is still actually evolving. So he could very well, still, be climbing at this stage in his career. Dalby, like I said, he's just a dog though. Like I could see a world where this gets past, the first round and then, halfway through the second, and then Dalby's just, kind of dogged his way through. And now Randy Brown is running and is starting to get clipped. And then eventually Dalby overtakes the fight. I've seen it. And it's just one of those things that it's really tough. It's really tough for me to not pick Dalby. But I'm going with Randy Brown because I just truly do believe he's the better overall fighter, and also is just physically going to be bigger and, just possibly be able to just point fight his way to victory, use his length, keep things at distance.
Don't put the bad juju on this fight, bro, because like you be saying shit.
And all Williams said, Randy Brown's never lost back-to-back joints in his career as well. So
you're right, bro. But like you put like sometimes you be saying bad juju shit and the shit happens. Like,
bro,
like
you know how I do things. Like I give analysis for both parties. Like, I'm gonna make my pick, but I do at least give an understanding of why the other, UFC doesn't, book fools for no reason. Like they're very. I like how they go about, like they're
very
find,
strategic.
Yeah,
right?
they find what one is better than the other, and they put them together to see like who's gonna outlast the other or who's gonna impose themselves on the other. And in this case, Randy Brown could very well point fight his way to victory, or start to pour the pace on Dalby early in the fight and get him up out of there. But if this fight goes to 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the second round and Randy Brown hasn't fucking figured it out yet, and he isn't just piecing Dalby up, I've seen Dalby come back in those instances, and it's crazy. Yo, shouts out to my guy Murillo. Big love from Brazil. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out.
I fucks with Brazil, my bro.
Shouts out Matua, William, and Murillo.
Hell yeah.
That's what's up.
I'm going with Brown as well.
Okay.
4 inches fucking taller. Right? Like, let me give you this breakdown. 4 inches taller. 3.5 inches of reach. 6 years younger. Fought more recently. And his last fight, yes, he did lose, but it was a splitty. So some judge believed he won.
Yeah.
I've got to go with Randy Brown. Randy Brown over Nicholas Dalby. Nicholas Dalby's a dog, but he's a beat down junkyard dog. It's not bad, Ralph. You know what I mean? And that just is what it is. Nicholas Dalby is not going to beat Randy Brown. Randy Brown for the win. That's my pick. That's what I'm going with.
Same city as John Silva. Oh shit, man. That's what's up.
That's respect.
John Silva is a killer.
That motherfucker's a solid ass motherfucker.
And Matua had Randy winning the Brian. I can't disagree with you on that. Like, he definitely gave Brian Battle a run for his money, was coming on strong towards the end of the fight. And I couldn't be mad if he ended up winning that one. I did pick Brian Battle in that fight.
So did I.
But yeah, I mean, in that particular, that wasn't one of Battle's best performances at all. So no, I feel you on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like we're all leaning Randy Brown in this one. Moving on to a middleweight bout, we have Michel Pereira going up against Abus Magomedov. We got Pereira coming in 9-3 in the UFC, 31-12 with 2 no contests overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 fights. We got Magomedov coming in. They are 33-2 in the UFC, 27-6 with 1 draw overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. I'm gonna have to go with Magomedov in this one. Not gonna lie, it took a lot for me to pick him in this one as well because I really like Michel Pereira. But after seeing Pereira's last performance compared to Magomedov's, granted, I feel like it was 2 sets of different competition. But it's one of those things where Pereira, I feel like, has started coming into his own to where he finally got to like some top competition and got humbled. Whereas Abus Magomedov kind of came out hot, got boosted up to, high level competition right away and proved not to be that great. Since then, he's had to work his way back, up since then. Really, I'm going with Abus because I feel like he's the more measured of the 2 fighters. I feel like Pereira is, unorthodox and deadly striker. But he leaves a lot to be desired in the grappling, and he's just, his cardio can somewhat be a question. Now this is 3 rounds, so this is different than a 5-round fight with fucking Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, which you're gonna get drowned in. But I feel like in this fight, Magomedov's gonna be able to mix it up just enough to kind of just stifle Pereira's offense. And then it's going to be a boring fight if Magomedov wins. He's probably just going to try and maintain either control of Pereira for the fight, or he's just going to stay very measured and, kind of just point fight his way to victory. I'd say the only thing that concerns me is Magomedov's cardio, but I feel like he's been working on that. And then you got Pereira as well, where, like I said, cardio is kind of a factor with him too. He might have the edge. I just think that, he's more of an energetic fighter, and if he can stay measured, then he'll be able to conserve that energy and make it last over the 3 rounds and possibly stay live for a KO at any point. Magomedov, at his situation is he just needs to stay measured and just, kind of keep the fight at distance. Put Pereira up against the fence every now and again. Not necessarily look for takedowns, but just keep the fight close and, just kind of just like I said, stifle Pereira's offense. That's why I'm gonna go with him, but I know you're going with.
All right, quick question: what's NGL?
I'm not gonna lie.
Not gonna lie. Okay.
Yeah.
You sound not gonna lie. Okay, I mean, you know what I mean? I'm an old motherfucker. You know what I mean? Just go ahead and let y'all know that. I'm going with Pereira. Michel Pereira is my guy. Pereira. This is gonna be a weird research thing that you guys are gonna see right now. You know what I mean? Pereira does well when he's at a reach disadvantage. Look up his fights. Look up his last 10 fights. Not every one of his last 10 fights was he at a reach advantage, but every time he was at a reach disadvantage, he won. I know, it's a crazy take, right? Most people, it's not a plus or, you know what I mean, something that you want to see. But when he's at a reach disadvantage, he fucking wins. He has more UFC experience, and I'm not gonna say this isn't gonna be a tough fight. It's gonna be a tough fight. But Michel Pereira is my guy. He's going to win. Like, it's gonna make it fucking happen. So, Michel Pereira. Look at, I'm out here pronouncing names right and shit. You know what I mean? I need more drink.
All right. Let's see here. Moving on to a featherweight bout. We got Giga Chikadze going up against David Onama. We got Chikadze coming in there 8-2 in the UFC, 15-4 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. We got Onama coming in 5-2 in the UFC, 13-2 overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 fights. I'm gonna be going with Onama in this one by either decision or like TKO or something like that. He's just one of those cats I think is ever evolving. He came into the game just kind of blazing through cats strictly off talent, hit a wall, realized that there were some things he needed to shore up. And now I think he's just becoming like a overall good fighter. He's getting his grappling, up to par. He has good striking. He's definitely a powerful, deadly striker. But I do believe he's working on being measured and just an overall, well-rounded fighter as opposed to just headhunting. Giga Chikadze, super skilled striker, super measured striker, probably going to be, the crisper of the two in that department, is probably going to want to keep this at distance, get his kicks going and just kind of, just keep it on the feet. So, like, he's definitely live to kind of point fight his way to victory, maybe even work the body, find one of those Giga kicks and fucking put Onama away. But I just feel like Onama is gonna be he's gonna work his way inside and either find those power shots and or start, getting Chikadze up against the fence, possibly even to the ground, and just trying to stifle that offense, basically, make sure that he's not throwing too much his way. And I gotta go with Onama in this one.
I'm going with Barack Obama. David Onama. Gotta definitely fuck up Giga Chasey. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and talk about this. He's Onama is the pressure fighter. He's fought more recently than Jacasey has. In addition to that, he is 4 years younger. As we know, Father Time has no losses. Boom. I'm going with David Onama for the win.
For sure.
Keep it easy, keep it quick, keep it simple.
All right.
What more do you want from me?
Well, moving on to the co-main event of the evening, y'all. We got a light heavyweight bout and a swan song bout. You know, it's going to be Anthony Smith going up against Ming Yang Zhang.
Who's Ming Yang Zhang going against?
Anthony Smith.
Go ahead.
Anthony Smith is coming in 13-11 in the UFC, 37-21 overall, and 2-3 in their last 5 fights. Zhang is coming in 2-0 in the UFC, 18-6 overall, and is currently riding an 11-fight win streak. I'm going to be going with Zhang in this one by either KO or submission. I mean, I don't even know. He doesn't even have, KO or submission. I just can't see this fight going the distance. If it does, then that possibly means that Anthony Smith is going to win. But at the end of the day, this is just we all know Anthony Smith this is going to be his retirement fight. He hasn't quite been the same guy for the past 2 fights. He's had some his coach passed away, which was both, professional and personal for him, and definitely affected his game, his mental, all that stuff. So that's one of those things right off the bat. I can't go with him because he's hovering around the retirement talk, and usually cats' heads are already checked out at that point. I mean, he's already a commentator. He's been doing events up to this point. So I mean, I think he's just ready. He just wants to formally, get out of there, get the fucking the tribute package at the end of the fight, win or lose, and just set sail, onto the next chapter of his career. I would have picked Zhang probably even without all that being the factor. Zhang is just going to be super power puncher. He's going to be looking to take this fucking fool's head off, which could be the only thing I think that plays against him. I think he'll have decent cardio. I think that his striking will be nasty. I don't know necessarily. He has grappling capabilities. I don't know if it's on the level of Anthony Smith. But at the end of the day, I just think that this is one of those things. You either get the Cinderella freaking, movie send off if Anthony Smith wins,
which almost never happens in UFC or fighting sports. Go ahead.
Or you get your prospect doing what he's supposed to do, and he fucking puts a horse out to pasture in front of your very eyes.
Send you to the Blue Factory.
And just further cements themselves as a top prospect and somebody that you should definitely book here in the near future. All that good stuff. He gets his stateside appeal at that point because his last bout, was in China, and they definitely, made it a point to take advantage of his celebrity over there. Now they're bringing it over here to make a transition over to the American fans at the expense of Anthony Smith. Unfortunately, nobody's going to be disappointed, though. If Anthony Smith gets fucking knocked the fuck out, everybody's going to be happy. If he wins, everybody's going to be happy, except for me.
Not me. Let me Anthony Lionheart, right? I believe that's his fucking nickname. Anthony Lionheart Smith is getting ready to get Mufasa'd by fucking Scar, who is Ming Yang Zhang. He's literally going to just grab him by the paws, throw his claws in, and throw him into a fucking pit of assholes to run him over.
Anthony Smith about to leave the cage on a dustpan.
My dog, best comment of the day, bro.
No, I see, but there you go. I see what William said right here. This seems like the fight that Anthony Smith wins, though. He's crazy and that he wins, though he's crazy and consistent, but he seems to pull it out the bag in fights like this. And I know what you're talking about.
He does pull it out of his ass. Not out of the bag, out of his ass.
He did that shit against Victor Petrino.
Bro,
that
real
shit was
yeah.
fucking Oh my
That
God,
shit killed
bro. And it was one of those things. I don't even know if it was him winning the fight as much as just Petrino being a fucking fool. But then you see how Petrino fucking loses his last fight, and then you start wondering, like, okay, like,
Petrino's just a dummy. He has bad fight IQ. He has bad fight IQ.
So, okay, so we're just gonna let y'all know we're going with Ming Yang Zhang in this one. Real quick to answer my new Fernandez's question. Thoughts on Gamrot versus Klein? Oh, salute all the way from Peru. That's what's up.
I'm going to Peru.
Let's go. Man, that's a good fight. I would say that I might lean towards Ludovic Klein in this case, only because he'll have the better hands of the two. I don't think Gamrot is all that fucking threatening with the hands. Don't get me wrong, he has some striking, but it's mostly just to gain entry for takedowns, and then he's just trying to smother you for the fight. Whereas with Klein, he's definitely good for it on the ground. He definitely can make it happen on the ground. I think that he would probably utilize his wrestling more so to keep it on the feet. And then he's definitely going to be the deadlier of the two on the feet, in my opinion. So early predictions, I would have to say, I would go with Ludovic Klein over Gamrot in that particular matchup.
I respect you. Okay, let me just say that. I respect you for the breakdown that you had, but it's so early, and I haven't done the research on that particular fight. Like, the fact that you're able just gonna call Klein as a winner, I'm not saying that he's not a winner, because I need to do a little bit more something on it, but that's wild.
Hey.
But I respect it. I'm gonna say that. Let me also say this. I don't think I really got that shit out of myself. Zhang. Ming Yang Zhang. This motherfucker is 10 years younger than fucking Anthony Smith. What are we fucking talking about? We're talking about, what, a 40-year-old versus a 30-year-old? Ass whippings are about to happen. You know what I mean? It just kind of is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Father Time has never lost. It just does what it does. Like, Ming Yang Zhang is going to knock fucking Anthony Smith into the announcer booth where he's supposed to be at. If I'm lying, please put like a lightning bolt in the fucking comments. But if I'm telling the fucking truth, just put like a smiley face or anything else, bro. It's real shit.
All right, folks. Moving on to the main event of the evening.
Go ahead and say it because I know you want to, because we're not doing the edit. So
moving on to the main event of the evening.
I'm gonna give you like a 4.5 on that.
I wasn't trying to be obnoxious.
You want to try it again?
And now for the main event of the evening. Is that better?
That was a fucking 6. I'll give you a 6.
Whatever. Well, I fucking hurt myself. I'm not doing it again. We're all good.
Whatever. 6 is good, right?
We got a welterweight bout between Ian Machado Garry going up against Carlos Prates.
Cheesecake degrees.
This fight is somewhat short notice for both parties. It's kind of a replacement bout for what was supposed to be the main event originally, which was Khalil Roundtree going up against Jamal Hill. Since that fight fizzled out, they were able to replace it with both of these guys. So this is equally, if not a better main event, So I'm excited to see this one. We got Machado Garry coming in 8-1 in the UFC, 15-1 overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 fights. We got Prates coming in. They are 4-0 in the UFC, 21-6 overall, and are currently riding an 11-fight win streak as well. I'm gonna be going with Prates in this one. I think he gets this one by either KO or decision. I mean, shit, he may be able to fucking get a sub in there, but I just feel like this fight's primarily going to take place on the feet. if anyone does try to take it to the ground or mix it up with some grappling, it's going to be Ian Garry. Ian Garry is a very well-rounded fighter, very crisp, measured striking, and has been working with Shuto Box in Brazil to get his grappling up to par. So, I mean, and in his fight against Shavkat Rakhmonov, I mean, he gave Homeboy a run for his money. That was a very good fight, very good showcase by him. I don't like fucking Ian Garry. I think Ian Garry is fucking corny as shit. I really don't like him. But that has nothing to do with this. When it comes down to it, I just think that Prates is a killer. He is going to be looking for the finish. I think he has good cardio. Now this is our first time seeing him in 5 rounds, so we'll see how that fares. But I mean, and he'd be smoking cigarettes in his off time and shit, and but he doesn't seem to be showing any signs that any of that has an effect on him. He has a solid camp where I'm sure those fools, put a beating on him daily and help him work all that fucking tar up out of his lungs and fucking all that shit.
Hell yeah, Gary's wild corny.
Bro.
Real shit.
Oh my God, bro. I can't stand Ian Garry. But yeah, when it really does come down to it, it's a great matchup. At the end of the day, you get Ian Garry, who's, working his way up towards the title. He took a short notice fight against the killer and fared very well. So he's proven that he's definitely top of the ranks in this division. But then you get this opportunity to have this surging prospect potentially just boom, cement a top spot right off the belt. I mean, right off the top, and he's super entertaining, super deadly. I mean, and even very much not corny like Ian Garry, in and outside of the cage. So, I'm going to be rolling with Prates. I think he just has a lot of momentum going for him. I think that, he's going to present a lot of threats to Garry in terms of just the striking. Gary's just going to probably look to point fight and just, look to just find a win, which he's very good at. He's very good at just finding a way to win, but at the end of the day, I think that that's why he's being put up against Prates, not only just because he lost his last fight, and because he hasn't necessarily been the most entertaining, even though he is finding ways to win. So it's like, I think UFC's like, you know what? He either keeps on winning and that's cool, gets back into the win column and, is just still doing his thing, beats the up and comer and keeps his spot. Or we have a dude come up, fucking put this dude out in fucking spectacular fashion. And now we got a new top killer in the ranks. And, we can move on to start pushing him more rather than Garry, because Garry has proven to not necessarily be the most entertaining. He wins, but he's not necessarily the most entertaining. So I think that that's what UFC's trying to do. They're trying to either, keep him in the win column so that, they can keep pushing him, or they can get Prates and put a rocket ship right behind him and he goes to the moon.
Carlos Prates for the fucking win. He should fucking flick a cigarette right in that motherfucker's face. Carlos Prates KO's motherfucker. Carlos Prates has a 3.5-inch reach advantage. Carlos Prates is a smoking, drinking, bad motherfucker just like myself. I love that motherfucker. He's going to whip ass and fucking take names like he's Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's going to be awesome. 316 all over motherfucking Ian Machado Garry's ass. And it is what it is. I hope he gives him a fucking stunner. Like, maybe that might happen. I'm going Prates all day for the win. Love that shit. Run to the motherfucking next shit.
All right. That's it, bro. Shit, that's it.
Well, we got to do some more.
That concludes the picks and predictions portion of the show. You got any parlays, bro?
Hey, I'm God.
Yes, sir.
In addition to that, I'm parlay God. So, yes, of course I do. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I feel like I interrupted you.
No, I was just shouting out my guy Murillo.
Murillo is the man, bro.
He said Ian Garry getting KO'd for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great chess move by the UFC. Good point. Appreciate you. Robot Chicken Wings. I like that name.
That's a wild ass name.
I like that name. Yo, the chat has been. This chat has been
wild, bro. Like it's the best chat we had.
Most deaf.
Round robins. I don't like round robins.
I like round robins, but I had to just let them go because there
like,
wasn't nothing round or robining fucking for me in that fucking realm, bruh. So I like it though. I do like it. I did start doing the new DraftKings pick six joint.
No, I don't do that shit, bro. Don't do that shit.
That shit hasn't fared too well, so I've stepped away from it. But yeah, no, I'm always about the fucking, second time around. If you don't get it the first time, you get it again.
Yeah, for sure. Let me give you a breakdown of how I do shit, right? So I put my shit is very simple the way I kind of break down my bets. There are like professional bettors. I'm not a professional bettor. I'm not even a professional picker. I just pick shit because I like shit. I like certain motherfuckers who do great fights, or you know what I mean, they have a certain fighting style or wherever it is. I pick every fight. I put a unit, what my unit is on every fight, and then I bet the entire fucking fight. You know what I mean? But I put probably 0.2 of a unit. You know what I mean? On the entire fight. In addition to that, I do a parlay or two parlay depending on the day, right? Like what you guys see, and I do that. I don't go crazier than that. I generally don't do like what's that called where you're picking knockouts or submissions or whatever. I don't do methods of victory. Like props. I don't do prop bets. That shit's all about losing money. And like again, this isn't a fucking a class about how to bet. I'm giving you my picks, and I'll give you parlays on like who I think is gonna win. This is my method. I've been able to keep money in my account to doing this shit. So now I'm going to get into my parlays. We're just going to leave it at that.
Real quick, before you get into those parlays, real quick, Murillo, what's your favorite Fighting Nerds fighter? Mine's, I got to go with, oh man, that's hard because I want to say Jean Silva, but Prates is like, he's just a cool ass dude. Like Prates is so.
He's the coolest nigga.
He's just smooth. He just walks in there like he's just there to just, like he looks like type of dude, like he would flick a cigarette out before he enters the cage and then just mops a fool. But.
He's the type of motherfucker at a bar though. Like where he's just like, oh, you want to fuck with me? You think he'll beat my ass? Oh, you gonna beat? And he like takes a shot and like, do you want to beat my ass or you want to leave me alone? Because if you can leave me alone, you can walk away right now. But you want to beat my ass? Okay. And then he just fucking mops the fuck out of a motherfucker. You know what I mean?
To see John Silva, bro, he's a psychopath.
Yeah. John Silva really reminds me of fucking
he's a psychopath, bro. Yeah. He fucking literally just like he laughs. I think he's one of those. I think he's a true warrior. Mm-hmm. I think like he's one of those dudes with one of those like warrior spirits, fucking from ancestral type shit, where like he just. Like he just got screwed.
Born to kill shit.
He was scalping motherfuckers in another goddamn in another lifetime.
That makes sense.
But go ahead. Okay, parlays. Go ahead and lay out your parlays.
Oh, my parlays. My parlay. Let's see. Oh, this is gonna be. I'm gonna call this the black ass parlay. You ready for this? Because Alex Skaroff is going to be part of the parlay. And then Blackshear, right? Black ass? You know what I mean?
Oh, my God, bro.
And then more.
But there's more motherfuckers in there. Like, that'd be cool if it was a 2-pick parlay. You call it the black ass parlay, but you got other niggas in there.
Fuck it then. We'll just do a 2-pick real quick. But, like, you can spell ass with a Z too, so like maybe you know what I mean. We do that. I don't know. Whatever. Let me start the parlay over. I'm sorry, my fault, folks. We're gonna start off from the beginning. Amorim is my first pick. Second pick is Blackshear. Third pick is Alaskarov. Fourth pick is going to be Zhang. Also, I think Schnell is live for a fucking
if you want to spice shit up.
If you want to spice some shit up, Schnell is going to be really, really good. Brown is also another one if you want to put it to a 6-pick parlay. I do not believe in doing more than that, but 7-pick for parties. I'm just going to give that shit to you. You guys do what you want with it. I'm not responsible for any bad gambling bet you might make, but I do believe in this. I do believe in this list that I've made of people that I know or I believe are going to win.
For sure.
So there you go. You do what you want, bro. I'm sorry.
Which was more impressive, Rufy spinning kick KO on Green or Jean Silva ninja? The Jean Silva ninja choke on Bryce Mitchell, because
Absolutely.
Bryce Mitchell is a grappler, you know. So he not only did he school a guy at his own fucking expertise, but you know, don't get me wrong, that spinning kick knockout was nasty work. That shit was nasty work. But Bobby Green is, you know, he's been shown to, you know, not have, you know, like he can be knocked out basically, you know, whereas Jean Silva, who is primarily a deadly striker in most people's eyes, getting a submission victory over a dude who's probably looked at as the top grappler in that division, yo, you can't deny him. I have to go with Jean Silva in that one. 305 Chunks, what up? What's good? Leon versus Masvidal, man. They should have gotten that one done a long time ago, but if they run it back and they finally get that one done,
Leon, bro.
I'm going with
Leon all day,
I'll
bro.
probably go with Leon. I ain't gonna lie.
Come on, pimp.
I feel like he's the better fighter, but right now I don't know where his head's at necessarily right now, and he's looking like he's just on a bad beat. Masvidal though, like he's just, to me, he's just a little bit one-dimensional, you know, like he doesn't throw enough volume. He's always just looking for the knockout shot. He's just primarily a striker. He doesn't really offer much on the ground. And his cardio is kind of you know. So I can't really go with Masvidal in that one, but I would like to. Like, if you're asking me who I like better, I like fucking Masvidal better, you know. But at the end of the day, I just feel like
Masvidal's a ball
Leon would be the better fighter in that one. Thoughts on
he's a full fighter.
Oliveira versus Topuria, bruh. That is a goodie right there. I don't know. That one's so much of a toss-up. I would probably have to lean Oliveira, just because he's probably going to be the taller and longer of the two. And so that's going to be easier for him to wrap shit up on Ilya. But Ilya's just so damn powerful, and he does have grappling too. Like, you can't sleep on him on the ground. But I would probably still lean towards Oliveira, just because he's just he's a dog. You know, he can be knocked down and still weather the storm and come back. And, you know, and that's the thing is, you know, he can lure you into a false sense of security. You know, you knock him down to the ground and think, okay, I'm about to go finish him, and then he wraps your ass up real quick. Or you try to let him back up to the feet because you think, okay, cool, I ain't trying to play into his game. I'm going to go ahead and, you know, let him get back up here. And then that fool fucking catches you with one. Like, I don't know. Like, I just, I'll probably have to lean Oliveira in that one. But I can't, you know, Robot Chicken Wings, you know, I'm rolling with Topuria. He would clip Charles, and that very well could happen, you know. But that's the thing is, would he clip him and then just, would it be a walk-off? Or does he have to finish him off, in which case then he leaves himself still open to get, you know, wrapped up somehow. Real quick, I'm going to give y'all my parlays. I'm going to be rolling with Jocelyn Edwards, Jacqueline Omarine, Ikram Alaskarov, and Minyang Zhang for a 4-pick base parlay. If you want to spice things up, you can go ahead and throw Carlos Prates on top of that. And if you want to get extra spicy with it, then you can throw Matt Schnell on top of there. And since we're here, you know,
bruh,
you know, if we're trying to shit our pants on tonight, my man,
bro,
then I would definitely have to say then you could go with a few different folks on this one, but since it's got to be, you know, the shit your pants freaking parlay, you know,
wait,
we're shitting our pants because we're picking someone who shouldn't necessarily win.
Give me a parlay one.
So in that case, then okay, I'll give you everybody. Edwards, Amarim, Aliskerov, Zhang, spicy Prates, extra spicy Schnell, and then you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and throw for the shit your pants, you know, because
don't do that one.
I'm gonna go.
Not that
I'm
one.
No.
Abusat
Magomedov.
You're fucking hilarious, bro.
Everybody else just would be too easy to pick, bro. I feel like the most even matchup at that point, you know, would be Pereira and Magomedov. You know, now I could have picked Evan Elder over Gage Young, but I'm not trying to. That fight's too up in the air. So, anyways, those are my parlays, y'all. You know, hey, I feel like it's pretty solid. Like I said, the shit your pants parlay is kind of more.
Take
like
that shit with a grain of salt.
Yeah, you're going for the gusto on that one. But everything leading up to that, especially that the 4-pick, I'm very confident in. Prates on top of that, pretty confident. And then the Schnell pick makes me semi-confident. Shit your pants is just me fucking shooting for the moon. Let's see here. Appreciate the response. Oh, most def 305. Most def. We appreciate you interacting with us. I got some, you know, now that we came to this part, I just want to let y'all know once again, we've been dealing with some technical issues. Anybody who's familiar with the show knows how this show normally operates. It's a pre-recorded show that has a lot of edits and a lot of shit that, you know, we do that to add more of a humorous factor to this show. But we've just been running into some hardware issues that have, you know, made it difficult for us to get the show to you guys in the way that we want to. But we're gonna persevere, and we appreciate everybody who's been sticking with us. You know, so let us know if you prefer this live, because I'm not gonna lie, this live has been dope because we actually get to interact with folks as we go through this process. And to be honest, it would be a hell of a load off of my back to be able to not to have to edit so much. I actually do love the editing aspect, but it is a long process.
Lazy motherfucker.
So, you know, let us know if you like this live aspect or if you prefer the pre-recorded shows, or maybe y'all want a mixture of shit. You know, every now and again, you know, we do a pre-recorded and then we throw in a live one, or, you know, just let us know what y'all think. Okay, Robot Chicken Wings. I'm a fan of both, so I'll be happy with the winner. That's what's up. That's what's up. If Smith can avoid being knocked out, he's live for a submission.
Bullshit.
Worth the sprinkle.
My dog, I'm telling you now, bro. Fucking Smith ain't gonna do shit, bro.
No,
Smith is gonna
that. I mean,
come on,
he said
bro.
live for submission.
I get what he's saying, bro. It's so
prop
bullshit.
Bet, that's not a bad prop bet to me.
It's a terrible prop bet. Like Smith has given up the gusto, bro. He's going to sit back in the fucking announcer booth. That's where he's supposed to be at. That's where he's going to be at. Like he's not doing shit in this fight. I swear to God, like this is just a bullshit ass fight that like Dana White is like, hey, bro, like you're my dog, bro. Like go ahead, go and fight somebody. Go ahead and fight somebody. I guess. Get your ass beaten. Fucking can you get back on the announcer desk? Because like I need it there.
He said he got Zhang though. He's just saying, you know, it's worth a sprinkle, bro.
I mean, I respect his bet. I
respect his bet though. Get something. But anyways,
then if he wants to make that bet, then he should make the bet on like under fucking 3. That's the bet to make.
Then that's probably not as spicy.
Of course it's not, but like it's good. Like, cool. You want to make a spicy bet that you're gonna lose, or do you want to make a mid bet that you're gonna win? Do you want to win or you want to lose? I mean, that's what it is.
But yeah, like just to circle back real quick, make sure that, y'all let us know in the comments, do you like this live shit? Do you prefer the pre-recorded? Would you prefer that we just try and just, make a mixture of both? You let us know, because that's important. Definitely important for, how we, operate going forward. Make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. Much love to all of the viewers, everybody in the chat, all of our subscribers.
I really appreciate the chat though, bro. Like, I really enjoy interacting and like hearing what other motherfuckers have to say, bro. Like, whether I agree with it or I don't, like it's good information. You know what I mean? I really like. My bad. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Going forward, if we do, do more lives, I will have the information. Right now, I don't have the information letting you guys know. I believe the last card, Bro went 7-6. I went 6-7. He's in the lead right now for 2025 picks. And then for all-time picks, we started this channel literally at the beginning of the first event that UFC put on in 2024, and have been riding it ever since. And we're almost about like fucking how many? We got like fucking 800 fights almost that we've picked.
Yeah.
So like he's winning in all-time picks.
Motherland all squared. What's up, my boy?
Hey, what's good, my G? What's good, R Squared in the building? Y'all gotta check out my guy R Squared.
Check his channel, bro.
Yes, make sure you go check out my guy R Squared's channel.
Like,
especially
if
you're a
music,
fan of that Latin flavor, or you're a fan of, just good music in general,
bro.
My man definitely have you covered.
Absolutely.
He's gonna be dropping a new single actually next month.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so make sure you check
out. I mean, put that shit in the chat, bro. What your new single is, or when it's coming out, and all that.
Most definitely. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Bros Talk MMA. You can follow me on both those platforms at UTICA_SME. Bro, he has his own lines of social media he would prefer folks to reach him on.
Sure. I mean, you can follow me, I guess, at r1.mason on Instagram. But you better have fucking OnlyPants or a motherfucking corn hub. Real shit. You know what I mean? Otherwise, why am I fucking wasting my time?
Hey, just don't get caught up like Shannon Sharp, my G.
Bro. Oh, I'm not that big yet, so it doesn't fucking matter, bro.
They ain't gonna get you for no M's anytime soon.
I don't got no M's yet.
That's the channel,
you know what I mean? I only got like T's. You know what I mean? But
feel that shit. Shit. Well, what else? What else we got, folks? Yeah. I mean, once again, I can't stress enough. Let us know what you feel about, like, okay, my guy 305 Chunk says, live is 100% super necessary. That's what's up.
Hell yeah.
Definitely. Like I said, I like doing the lives because we get to interact. It fills out the show a little bit more, and like I said, then I don't even have to edit. I don't got to do nothing. We just keep it moving. But, if you are familiar with our pre-recorded shows, I ain't going to be mad at you if you tell me that you like that format better because, I'm very hands-on in that fucking department.
I don't do shit, bro. Like, I just show up, man. I drink some beers, and then I go the fuck home, go to sleep. You know what I mean? I just, I give you guys my fucking, my picks, you know what I mean? And I'm solid as fuck on that shit.
So basically, the only thing that's missing right now is a bunch of graphics, when we outline fighters, when we outline matchups, notes about, our records for the year and for all time since the show started. So you're not missing much, but, there are things there. This is one of the few lives we've done on this channel, so my apologies for some of the unorganized aspects of it. There were definitely some things that got shuffled around in the mix.
Don't worry about that shit.
So
bro.
my apologies on that. We'll have things a little more tightened up next time around, regardless of how we end up presenting you the next episode. But just want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in. Much love to everybody in the chat, everybody who tunes in on the regular, and most definitely all of our subscribers. This has been another episode of Bros Talk MMA. I'm your host, UTICA, undeniably the illest cat around, a.k.a. Mr. Make This Pick Real Quick, a.k.a. I finally fucking did something with myself. Anybody who's been watching the show knows I've been looking pretty grizzly here pretty recently. So, we fresh, we feeling good, vibes are up. I'm here with my bro host extraordinaire.
Don't know who it is. It's RayBuck. It's Chapel Jordan. It's motherfucking Rey Mysterio Jr. It is the Parlay God. It is God. It is Mr. Give me my belt, hand me my crown. Smack your mama on the butt while I'm hitting from the back. That's who I am. And that's what I do, baby.
Well, folks, with that being said, we wish y'all nothing but luck this weekend. Happy betting. And until the next time, we out.